Welcome back, friends. Let's continue with class 9 mathematics, chapter 2, exercise 2.4. After the remainder and the factor theorem, let's see now how to factorize certain polynomials. That is exercise 2.4, question number 4, factorize. So our given polynomial is given to us. It's a quadratic polynomial because the power is 2. So today in this video, we will learn a new method, that is splitting the middle term, factorization method. Now this is applicable generally in quadratic polynomials of the standard form ax square plus bx plus c. So there are many other ways in which you can factorize polynomials. This is one of the best ways, which I really like. Now before we use this method, the first thing that you have to check in the given polynomial is that is it a quadratic polynomial, which in this case it is yes, because the power is 2. And once that is done, see to it that it is always arranged in the proper standard form, that is power 2, power 1 and the constant term. So it is already arranged here. So now if you have to proceed, so what I can tell you is you can write down the extreme terms as it is. Okay, don't write down the extreme terms as it is, that is 12 and 1. Now that is what the method says, splitting the middle term. So we are going to split this middle term. How? Let's discuss. Now once that is done, you look at the two extremes, that is the coefficient of x square and the constant term. So that is numerical coefficient 12 and 1. So now what you will do is you will find out their product. So 12 into 1 will be 12. And now this is the first step. Now in the second step, you will try to find out the factors of 12 whose sum or difference will be 7. Forget about this negative value if you are doing by this method. And this I would advise students to follow this method. In that case, your negative values should not be a problem. I have seen that some students do directly, but there are some mistakes that they used to commit sometimes. Now, for example, like 12. So 12, one of the factors are 2 into 6. 2 6 are 12. No problem with that. But neither 2 plus 6 or 6 plus 6 minus 2. 8, 6 minus 2, 4. We are not going to get 7 in any way. So let's try to find out some other factors, like 4 into 3 is 12. Now you can see that 4 plus 3 is how much? 7. So this will satisfy our term 7 here. So I will write, don't leave out the variable 4x plus 3x. And once that is done, your job is almost done, because if you have found the factors and then you're able to split the middle term, your job is almost done. That is now 12x square minus, you can remove the bracket, that is this will be minus 4x minus plus minus 3x plus 1. So now we have seen that by splitting the middle term, we get from 3 terms we get 4 terms. Now from the first 2 terms, let's try to take any common factors that are present in the 2 terms. So 1x we can take common, and 4 can be taken common factor. So that will be 4 3s are 12, 1x minus 4 1s are 4x. Now in this 2 term, please write down the first sign that you get here, negative value, and we don't have any common factors here except 1, so we will just use that. So minus 3x, so minus is taken common, so minus 3x will become plus 3x, plus 1 will become minus 1. Now if you are doing this process correctly, you will see that these 2 terms will be equal. If it is not equal, then something may be wrong in the previous steps. So once these 2 terms are equal, from these 2 terms we will take 3x minus 1 as the common factor again. So from this factor, if we have taken 3x minus 1, we are left with 4x. From this term, if you are taking 3x minus 1 as the common factor, you are left with minus 1. So that is called factorization by the process of splitting the middle term. So I hope that you have understood this method properly. That means 3x minus 1 and 4x minus 1 are the two factors of the quadratic polynomial 12x square minus 7x plus 1. Let us do one more problem. Number 4, that is a polynomial 3x square minus x minus 4. So this is also a quadratic polynomial and it's already arranged in the standard form. So first up, you write down the extreme terms as it is and then write down the numerical coefficients. No need for the values of the signs, okay, positive or negative values. Let us not be concerned with that, just the numerical values only. So 3 4s are 12. Again, let's try to find out the factors of 12 such that we get our middle term, that is 1. X means 1x. So 3x square minus, so 12. First step. Second step, find out the factors so that we get 1 because the middle term is 1. Again, forget about the negative sign, we have already used it here. We know that 4 3s are 12. 4 minus 3 is again 1. So we have our factors, that is 4x minus 3x. So 4x minus 3x is 1. So now once this step is done, we will just remove the bracket, minus 4x minus plus 3x minus 4. From the first two terms we can have x as the common factor, so 3x minus 4, plus from the next two terms we can have only 1 as the common factor. Now if you have done it correctly, you will see that these two terms are same, so this will be the common factors from the next two terms. So x is left here, plus 1 is left. So we have our two factors for the given polynomial. So this method is quite simple and you will enjoy this method if you have understood from this video. So help us reach more and more students. From the team of Teach Nagaland, signing off.